River Babes. After a mini break, we're back, and I'm so happy to see you. Welcome to our Sweetwater Secrets preview show for Chapter 313, Chapter 48, Requiem for a Welterweight. Wow, that is a mouthful. I'm going to keep messing it up. Let's make a game of it, shall we? And before we dive all into it, who do you think I'm channeling today? Tell me in the comments. Now, today I'll be bringing you something very special, an exclusive sneak peek scene from episode 313. Plus, I'm releasing new interviews with Sprouse and Lili Reinhart, who are weighing in on some of Riverdale's romances. Plus, I'm dropping 3 clues about episode 313, and of course, answering a round of your live questions, aka my favorite part. But first, you all know the drill. Let's take a look back at your hisses, kisses, comments, and theories from our Sweetwater Secrets after show for episode 312, because I don't know about you, but I need a refresher on where we left off, so let's go. First up, Hedda Askheim really wants to live in Bizarrodale because she said, "This is the first episode I've loved in such a long time. It was smooth and had a perfect balance with all the characters." I will say I would have loved a dash more Bughead, but other than that, I thought 312 was just delicious. And so did The Simpsons show. No, not the cartoon. The YouTube commenter wrote, "Best episode ever." Cheryl said she's a lesbian. Tony found her voice. Josie stole my heart. Cheryl righted her wrongs. And these interviews with Van and Ash are delightful. Thank you so much. You know, I was so thrilled to be the one to debut the new Pretty Poisons jackets for you, but it seems like the fans are split on how to feel about this new girl gang. So Misty Rose Blackthorn posted, "I can't wait to see more Shoney and Pretty Poisons," but then Hey You Don't Know Me countered and said hisses to Pretty Poisons. Like, how many gangs are there supposed to be in a small town? I feel like the new gang will kind of ruin the image to the Serpents for the viewers. Interesting. And yes, I will say that there are a lot of gangs and one small town. But it seems like there is one thing that all Shoney fans can agree on, though. Now, Julia Gomez commented, "Kisses to Tony for making Cheryl realize that what she did was wrong, and their first fight was constructive and healthy." I agree. But moving on, Adriana Potts made a great point and posted, "Hisses to the fact that Riverdale has a costume store that sells realistic Gargoyle King costumes. Where is everyone getting them from?" I know. You know, we all know this is getting ridiculous. Now, at this point, I honestly don't even care who the Gargoyle King is. You've faked me out twice. I'm done. Switching over to Shipper Scoop, though, Les Z commented, "I'm kind of starting to ship Josie and Archie just because of the way he said, 'Can I kiss you?'" I know, right? Consent is so sexy, you guys. But it seems like others are still warming up to the idea of Archie, because Megan Kunn quipped, "The only question is, who hasn't Archie kissed?" Fair. But I wanted to know how you River Babes are feeling about this new potential pairing. So I called out for a vote on ET's YouTube channel, and more than 20,000 of you voted in our biggest poll yet. So I asked, what do you think about Josie and Archie? And 15% said, "I love them. I'm excited to see where this ship sails." 17% answered, "Not a fan. I prefer Varchie." 9% voted and said, "I'm holding out for Barchie," while a whopping 59% picked, "Sheesh, Archie. Try being single for a minute." That was my favorite one. I voted for that too. Now, I also wanted to get another opinion, so here's what Lili Reinhart thinks about Archie's love life this season.
Can I kiss you?
I don't know. I feel like Archie should be alone for like a second.
Yeah.
But something that our show does pay tribute to the original comics is that Archie really does kind of go from woman to woman. And we do it in a very subtle way, or Roberto does and our writers do, but Archie does get around. He's been with almost everyone. And it's like, that's just kind of our homage to the comics.
Gotta love Lily's honesty. Now, Archie feels fast, but so did Veggie. So at this point, I'm just watching the ship sail by. Yeah, But now let's switch gears into what we can expect from this week's episode, because I'm very excited. I am going to debut an exclusive sneak peek scene from episode 313 featuring Jughead and Tony, and y'all, it's pretty tense. Take a look.
Topaz, being in the Serpents is your birthright. We are a family. I'd like you to reconsider joining the gang.
You want me back in the Serpents? Make me queen. I mean, since I'm legacy and all, right?
You know I can't do that, Tony.
Because of Betty, right? Then I'm not coming back.
What are the pretty poisons providing for you that the Serpents can't?
An opportunity to lead. With the pretty poisons, I rule. We're a sisterhood.
You're Cheryl's vanity project, you mean?
And you're wrong about the Serpents still being a family. That's what we used to be. Not anymore.
Ooh, River Babes, ish is about to go down. Now, how are you feeling about this tension between Jughead and Tony? Tell me in the comments right now. I'm not here for it, but I understand it's expected. But let's dive right now into my 3 clues about Chapter 48, Requiem for a Welterweight. I hate it, you guys, I hate it. Number 1, one couple heats up, another cools down, and one is completely MIA. Number 2, they may look pretty, but their actions might poison the way you feel about them. And number 3, before you can say I do to the farm, you'll need something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. And I'll be explaining that clue fully in the after show, so get ready. Want more? Of course you do. Well, now that Gladys and Jellybean are sticking in town for a while, I asked Cole Sprouse to spill the Jones family tea, and if he's more of a phallus or flatus shipper. Take a look at what he told me. I'm excited that the Jones family's sticking around. Episode 12, coming back into town.
They come back. What are you guys doing here?
What is that family dynamic like when they're all back together in Riverdale?
I think the first meeting between all of them is quite cautious. I know FP is very cautious, and I know Jughead wants to be excited, but definitely is thinking twice. And then I think as time goes on, Gladys and Jellybean sort of reveal their true intentions, which end up being quite devilish as well. I think it's interesting because Jughead has such a strong moral center about doing wrong, and I think Gladys is sort of resigned to the idea of wrongness within her life, so she's very willing to step on people if it means getting what she wants, which I think she's trying to impart on Jughead as a tactician.
Do you think that Jughead would want his parents to get back together, or do you think that he wants his girlfriend's mom to date his dad?
I don't even know if he knows about Alice and FP.
That's true.
I don't think we've ever addressed it.
Not with them in the room.
I don't think there's ever been a scene where they've sat down and gone like, we're canoodling.
Be cool.
So I don't think he even knows about that, but I certainly think there's a part of Jughead that's quite nostalgic and that yearns for this family relationship that he didn't ever really have. So I think he wants them to get back together.
What do you think, River Babes? Are you intrigued to see if FP and Alice get back together, or are you a ride or die phallus shipper? Share me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts. It's early, you guys. And now it's time for my favorite part of these live preview shows, answering your questions, which I've never seen before. So let's take a look. Once again, you guys are flooding the comment section. I heard that there were so many gasp emojis during the Tony Jughead scene, so I was shocked too when I watched it, and that they let me reveal it for you guys. Let's see. They all say you're channeling Alice. Well done, guys. Yes, I am dressed in white today. I've got my charms, I've got my stones. I'm ready to be baptized into the farm. No, I'm not. That place is crazy. First up, Nat says, Archie, leave your lips dry. Focus on getting your sad life together, and then you may date. Do I agree that he needs to take a minute and find wholeness? Yes. Would I say it's sad? No. He's been through a lot and he's dealing with it in his own ways, and we'll see that in tonight's episode. He's really channeling a lot of his energy into boxing. But if you watch our after show tomorrow, it is featured in my Hisses and Kisses. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I'm sure you can guess. Next up, Blog says, Varchie's ship name is way better than Archie, and don't get me started on Veggie. Okay, I'm never a big fan of hating on couples for their ship names. They can't help it for what their ship names are. Like, and if TV creators are now creating names in order to have them make cool ship names, like that's really going too far. Archie, I think we're just not used to it. Veggie, I think is amazing because it's like veggies. I like it when it sounds like something. Varchie, once again, like that's another one where maybe you think it's weird, but I think we're just used to it by now. Judging people on their ship names is weird. A lot of people hate on Phallus because we've talked about this before. I like it. That's their names. Just deal with it. Okay, moving on. Wow, we have so many comments. Let's go way back to the beginning. Nikki Coles, I would love to see Jug propose to Betty. Bughead is endgame. We've talked about this in the past on previous preview shows. I love young love. I believe in endgame. I believe in soulmates. Do I believe that you need to get married right out of high school? Not my jam, but hey, love is love. Elegant Maddie says, any more special episodes except the musical? Nothing that I've heard of so far. I think they're gearing up to maybe introduce Katie Keene. That could be something. They might be doing kind of like a spin-off backdoor pilot. So that's just me speculating. I'm really excited for the musical episode though, so I'm happy to focus all of my special episode energy onto that one. Dawn of the Dead prehisses to Jughead if he believes Gladys or Jellybean over Betty. Yes. Now, for all of you fans, you might be able to piece together that the last time that I was on the Riverdale set was actually for this episode. So Gladys and Betty have yet to meet as of when I was doing all of my interviews, but I still have plenty of scoop on that subject coming forward. So, or moving forward, excuse me. Let's see. Caitlin says, I want more Bughead. I do not care. No new gang, no hate. Yes. And then Blog says, will Veronica be in the new gang? Ooh. I highly doubt Veronica will be in the new gang. She's too busy trying to get involved in her parents' lives and run the Lodge family empire. I have no idea what's going on with Veronica anymore, and I'm kind of tired of it. But yes, I agree. I would like more Bughead. I feel like there's more Archie in these like past 2 episodes than there has been of Bughead this entire season, which we've talked about before, that they're doing really great and it's nice to know that they're in a solid place, but I think it's time that we get a little Bughead. Don't you? Yeah. Let's see. Kelsey, Betty's not legacy because Alice left the serpents and Hal wasn't a serpent. This is true. Oh, I don't know if it's necessarily true. Betty is still a bit of a serpent legacy, but as much as Tony is a legacy, probably not. Tony, I feel, probably rightfully that queen crown, I think, does belong to her, just by line of succession. I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones, so. Molly, do Shoni have an argument again? Because that broke my heart, but I was so happy it was a healthy argument. We are going to keep seeing a little bit more growing pains for Shoni, which I, once again, like to see different sides of relationships. I like to see when couples call each other out when they're doing something crazy. And if that means that Tony is finally starting to get her spunk back that she had when we first met her, I'm all for it. Vanessa and I have talked about this, and you'll see it more in the after show, that she misses the way that Tony was when we were first introduced to her. She loves Cheryl, obviously, but I'm excited to personally get to see Tony regain a bit more of that confidence that she had when we first met her. Sela says, do we meet Edgar tonight? I will not comment on that, but I will say that if you tune into the after show, there will be scoop. Railman says, Archie needs to focus on his studies and other things instead of going around to get with almost every girl. He's been in the struggle for so long since the Hiram thing and needs to be alone. I completely agree. I agree. He's kissed a lot of girls, which, as Lili just said and you saw in our interview, that's kind of their nod to the comics, because in the original comics, Archie, he's a sweet guy, but yes, he did kind of get with every single pairing. And let's go through them all together, shall we? And you tell me if I'm missing anyone. He's kissed Betty, he's kissed Veronica, he's kissed Josie, he's kissed Cheryl, he's kissed a farm floozy, he's kissed Valerie from the Pussycats. I feel like I'm missing someone. I'm up to 6. Comment and tell me who I'm missing. Let's see. Handel says, kind of think Jughead is being unfair, like Tony's been there from the start and Betty is just in the Serpents because Jughead's in the Serpents. I don't think she cares. I think Betty does care because she wants to be there for Jughead, and that Lili has told me that Betty likes to stand by her man and that she's excited to be there and she's excited to support him. But I do think that I miss Tony in the Serpents, and I'll have more scoop from Vanessa about that in the after show, kind of talking about Tony's headspace after this episode, because a lot happens. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. A lot happens, and there's a lot that we're going to be discussing. And I don't know how you guys are going to feel about Pretty Poisons after we watch this episode. Isis says, can you explain the part where Josie leaves for New York? I'm so confused with that. So I don't know much about it just yet, but I do know that the lovely Ashley Murray is going to be going to the new potential Riverdale spinoff. Now keep in mind, guys, this is not official. The spinoff is going to be called Katie Keene, and it's kind of like the way I'm thinking of it in my head is it's a Gossip Girl musical, because it takes place in New York, and it's like, I'm thinking it's like, did you guys watch Glee when Rachel went to New York for that later half of it? That's kind of what I'm envisioning. It's gonna be very sexy, it's gonna be very competitive, and but the whole thing is that CW has to pick up the show. So the way it works, I'm not sure if you guys are super familiar with the way that the TV process works, but right now they are going to film a pilot, which is a first episode for Katie Keene. And then if the CW likes it, then they pick up the show, and then we'll be getting a certain batch of episodes next fall. So if the show does get picked up and it does move forward, then Josie McCoy will be a part of that series. I'm not sure how she'll be leaving Riverdale, but I do know that we are having an interview with Mama McCoy, and it's live on ET's YouTube page today, and she's talking about whether or not Mama McCoy will be going with her as well. So keep an eye out for that. Keep it locked to my Twitter page. I'll be tweeting that out. Okay, oh, I forgot Grundy. Thanks, guys. Archie kissed Grundy. Oh, how could I forget about that? I know how I could forget about that, because I hated it, and I wanted it out of my brain. Oh, Grundy. Remember Grundy? Remember when she died? Not like excited for someone to die, but that was good death. That was a good death. I'd be excited if Hiram died, if it was like a good death, but I don't know if we'll ever get that. Ashley, Tony deserves respect and status, but Betty is Jughead's queen. That's a good way to put it. I like that. Tony deserves respect, Betty's Jughead's queen. Christy, do they have a sexual health clinic in Riverdale? The residents might need one. Fair point. Fair point. Maybe they'll open one in the bunker. And also, like, more and more people are discovering this bunker. And it's supposed to be really hidden in the middle of the woods, but you'll see, like, in upcoming episodes, they're like, hi, random person I've never met before, meet me in this bunker. How are these people, like, wandering through the woods and finding this mysterious bunker? I find it hilarious. Let's see. Lots of folks want more of Tony's backstory and family angle. Same. I want it, Vanessa wants it, so many people want to know more about Tony. It's kind of like she just like popped out of nowhere and she's awesome, and then kind of got adapted into Cheryl's life, and we know a little bit that she used to live with her uncle, and then he was awful. But yes, I would love to meet Tony's mom. Can you imagine? We don't know what happened to her, so she could still be out there. I'd like to think that she and Gladys are friends. We are gonna just take a few more. Actually, we got a bit of time. Ashley says, the Serpents need a council made of Jug, Tony, Betty, Sweet Pea, Fangs, and Cheryl. I don't know if they need a council, but they all need to have a meeting after tonight's episode, because they need to hash it out. Things happen, and I am upset. These people want peaches and cream. I want peaches and cream too. Coming up in a few more episodes, I think we'll finally get our peaches and cream introduction. I was hoping to get it a little earlier, but still waiting. But I love the name. I've heard she's a kick-butt character. I'm here for it. Anna, Betty deserves to be the Snake Queen, but she needs to solve her family problems now. Betty has her hands full. Goodness gracious, the things that happen in this week's episode will make your head spin and have you gasping for air. That's all I'm going to say. You guys have seen the trailer. You can put the two and two together. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Handle. A lot of people think the Jughead's being unfair. Neely, do you think Shoney would win or Bughead would win in a fight? I'm not going to answer that. They shouldn't fight. I think that Shoney would win because Jughead wouldn't hit a girl. Molly, he hit He hurt Penny Peabody, but she was the worst. Interesting. Who do you guys think would win? I don't want to put them against each other. I like them too much. Betty seems scrappy. I'm gonna be thinking about this all day. Millie, will we meet Tony's family? See before. Let's see. We are gonna go way, way, way back. Nah, blah, blah, blah. Josephine, good for Tony standing up for herself and her beliefs. We will be seeing more of that. Charlie, Cynthia, I hope everything's going good for Sweet Pea and Fangs and Tony. That's all I'm gonna say. That's also the same face that I make whenever I think of Kevin. I love Kevin. Betty has everything. Tony wants a serpent kingdom and a beautiful king who could be fully over Jughead. I'm not sure about that one, but Tony likes Cheryl. Okay. Rick says, how is no one talking about the Mevin breakup? Oh, Rick. Okay, let's talk about the Mevin breakup. How are you guys feeling about the Mevin breakup? I hate it because it hurt Kevin's heart. But I'm excited because although Moose went through a lot and it wasn't fair to say that I wish he'd come out sooner and been more open with Kevin's relationship, because everyone comes out in their own timeline. I'm never judging anyone for that, but I'm just saying, hearing Kevin talk to Cheryl and say, maybe if he loved me more, he'd feel comfortable doing that, just broke my heart. I feel like it was not a good relationship for him to be in. I felt like he was constantly just trying to get Moose to care about him and love him enough to like come out to his dad and be proud to be with him. And I feel like that kind of mentally warped him for a little bit. So I love Kevin Keller. He deserves the moon. And so find someone who gets him the moon. Get him the moon, guys. Nadia, I want to know who's giving out all these gargoyle masks and costumes. Man, they must have a killer costume store in Riverdale. It is amazing, because how are they getting all these random masks? Do you think they have Amazon? Or actually, since it's Riverdale and everything's slightly off, like tonight you're gonna hear about 23-hour fitness, what would we call Amazon instead? Rainforest. I don't know. Honey, do we get the origins of the girls in Pretty Poisons? Hopefully. Hopefully. As of right now, they're just kind of there. Kind of 50s-like. That's all. People are really hurt by the Mevin breakup. Oh, you guys, I know. Now, are you hurt because you love Kevin Keller just as much as I do, or because you actually loved them together as a couple? And I loved that we all decided on Mevin. The show kept calling it Coos, which was never my fan, but we all voted at the beginning of this Sweetwater Secret season. Y'all picked Mevin, so here we are. Just a few more questions. Nadia says, Caitlin says, anyone who goes to that bunker better not sit on the bed. If they do, they need to bring clean sheets. I do hope that Mevin took Cheryl's advice and brought clean sheets to the bunker. That's all I'm gonna say, because goodness gracious. And how are we feeling about our Chosy? Do all of you guys, who out there is shipping them and why? Tell me that right now. V-Cheese says, I don't want Tony to move on so fast. She's a serpent by blood. I mean, she said it herself. Yes. And I think that although this was really, really sweet that Cheryl created this girl gang for Tony, I think that you will start to see that this gift, it maybe not be what it seems to be. It may not be as heartfelt as it was initially, and it's really sad to watch. Tristan, I think that by the end of the season, Tony will be given her rightful place as Serpent Queen, and Cheryl will stay with the Pretty Poisons, and there will be an alliance. Love that idea. I know nothing about this, but Tristan, I love that idea. Yes, I'm here for that. Because I still want the serpents to be part of the Riverdale lore. I love it. I have 3 serpent jackets at this point, so, which I love. We have this one right here, with the black one. I have my red one, and I have a vest. So if they get rid of the serpents, well then, I have to go shopping. And I think we'll end it there. Now, thank you all so much for watching today's live preview, and be sure to check back with me after you've watched Chapter 48, Requiem for a Welterweight, for our Sweetwater Secrets after show, plus exclusive scoop from Lili, Reinhart, and Vanessa Morgan spilling answers on your biggest questions. But for now, hit the comments and tell me what you think is going to happen in episode 313. Are you ready to discover more about the farm? Which couple needs to step up their game? And who else is totally over the Gargoyle King? Tell me everything, and I'll see you after the episode, River Babes. Bye-bye.